Would you like to check out my best editing work yet? What? Oh, another Osu original. Wait, you edited this together? Did you make the visuals for this too? Like the staircase thing? Wait, Vivi, did you make all these assets? There's no way. Wait, hold up. VFX, video, and 3D modeling. Holy shit. Wait, Neko made the background? Oh my god! Wait, it's offline chat. Mere barking Mad Dog are on this. I don't know about the third mapper. I guess I'm now aware. All right. Tempest Eternum? Tatu, Mira, and Barking Mad Dog. I don't think I'm as familiar with Tatu's mapping. Or Taku. Clocks in at 8.81 stars? A 9-star custom? What? Tempest Eternum means eternal time. Oh. Yo. Diagonal wiggle stream. Okay, dude. I mean, you're basically looking at a 9-star. Ooh. Okay. Oh, I just now realized they're combining multiple replays. That's dope. Wait, the BPM is slashing. Wait. Vivian, that is so extra. Dude, I've been seeing a lot of hardstyle like songs nowadays. Yet I absolutely cannot stand the mapping of it with these like super long sliders. Ooh, that part's interesting. Wide angles. I'm a sucker for those. Even more? Yeah, good luck catching those reverse arrows. Wow. Holy fuck, dude. That's insane. Yeah, great job, Vivian. That is incredible. Happy 24. Incredible project. I'm sure that took up a long time. How many hours did you put into it? Are you able to like break it down between like the VFX, the it's called the sound effects, everything else? Hold up. Where is it? VFX, video, and 3D modeling. Yeah. We can't see. Says it right here. Took 6 months talking to the producer. Video and models took around 40 hours. Oh shit! So you worked hand in hand with the producer when making this? Wait, I'm actually so curious. Would you mind like hopping on a call and just like explaining that process? Like, Dead Road will tell you, I've been obsessed with this new concept, which is called a standard operating procedure. Basically, having documentation of how you do something. Because I realized that the reason why I suck at delegating tasks properly is because I don't know what to tell them. How, like, I don't have an instruction set to tell people how to do the job properly, right? So, like, if you're, like, I'd like to hop on call with you and basically break down what was your standard operating procedure for actually making this a reality. Yes, it's 6 months of work. I don't think we're going to be able to get it super granular, but I think if we can have like a basic idea of what you guys did, then like it could be super cool. Yeah, sure thing. Oh man. Also, Dead Road, if you're around after I'm done talking with Happy 24, then we may be able to set up the PC today. I'll just like move the stream onto like my phone, and then I'll like IRL stream myself actually like setting up the PC. Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, Vivian. Okay, I'm actually, dude, this is actually super exciting. This SOP will change the game. I'm sure there was like a lot of back and forth, but like that granular detail is where the sauce is. Okay.
So okay.
Hold on, let me outline
basically
let me outline like a basic thing, because like there are like different steps. In order to have like a music video, you need to have a song, right? So like what we're basically going to be breaking down is like what. Well, I guess we'll start with the song, or like this will be my question for you. Did you start with the song and then work on the music video, or did you like have an idea in mind for the music video and have that tie into the song? Those are two different things that could be molded together, and I'm interested to see what approach you specifically took in order to make this happen. So yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like back in April, I found Raikou actually through 5WC. 5-digit World Cup.
Yeah.
And then I, just like texted her, hey, how much do you charge for a commission? And that's where it like ended for then, because we didn't really have money. We were still setting things up for the National Dutch Championship.
This is April 2025, yeah?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So in May, we kind of like agreed on the amount Raikou specified. And then I made a document with song guidelines because I have dabbled in like, well, music producing myself a bit.
Wait, so
Wait, let me.
on the dollar amount, is this like a flat rate? Does it scale based off of complexity? Like, how
Well,
was this figured out? Like, was there like
every
licensing or
artist,
something?
every artist, of course, like does it differently. But how Naiku handled things was basically charging how long the song would be and how complex the song would be.
So
So
there wasn't really like an agreed upon rate from the very beginning. It was more like, let's work on this first. We'll figure out how much it costs afterwards. Was that
well,
correct?
we pretty much got an amount based from like how long we wanted the song to be, and
Oh, I
then
see.
from there we continued talking once we agreed on that amount.
Ahead
Here,
of time,
if
which
you look at my screen real quick.
pricing. Yeah.
This is the document we basically sent out. So
Oh
wait, let me
shit.
zoom in a bit. We basically put on a few requirements. We wanted the BPM to be between 200 and 240, the length to be about 6 minutes, and we wanted, because it's a Dutch tournament, classical Dutch hardcore, so gabber, happy hardcore, speedcore, uptempo, terrorcore. And then I kind of like made a small track structure
Wow.
guideline.
Okay.
And what I think is really important is, well, we've seen it with OWC as well. Once you like make a structure, a track structure, you don't give the artist as much freedom anymore.
Yeah.
So what we basically said is, hey, this is a guideline. This is about what we want. So here's the direction. But please, if you feel like you can like put in more genres, or you can like pretty much just make something cooler, just do that, because that's like way more epic, of course, if the artist has their own vision and can make something great from that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we basically did. I sent this out to Naiku, and Naiku was really happy with it. And then we kind of like started with just the intro, the drop, and that's all started end of May, early June.
Did you find
Uh,
that Naiku followed the structure a lot? Like how did that actually go about? Like how do you
uh,
feel like the song turned out relative to the structure?
Pretty well, because we wanted a like final drop climax, which is like speedcore to 40 BPM, which we
Yeah.
got. And then also the intro has gubber kicks and a bit more cinematic intro. We wanted to be really cinematic at the start because we already had in mind creating like a sort of video for it, like you just saw, and to like give space for that cinematic like intro. We didn't want the song to instantly be very hype, because then people want to see the map instead of like the reveal.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Yeah, there's a bit of hardcore. Naiku actually dropped in with I forgot the genre, but anyway, Naiku actually like put in a lot of genres herself. If I go to Naiku's YouTube, Naiku here. It's gabber, uptempo hardcore, psytrance, 200, 210 step, techcore, UK hardcore, neurofunk, speedcore.
Mm-hmm.
So we didn't actually specify like put psytrance into there, but the song just like kind of turned out in a way where a psytrance section would be like best to follow, because we worked with these like kind of whip files, and
Right.
basically every time Naiku had some sort of like progress on the song, they pumped out a whip file, put it in the drive, or put it in our Discord server, so everyone could listen to it. And pretty much we asked like every single staff member to just give feedback on it, because like the more feedback an artist gets, the more they like can actually change it to become something great. because you got to realize these artists are like listening to the song day in, day out, like so many hours. So they don't really get a feel anymore for like how good the song actually is.
When you get feedback from like, okay, how do you avoid the issue of like too many cooks in the kitchen? Like if there's like, let's say 10 people and they're giving feedback, some of them I'm sure will clash with like some people suggest, hey, I think it would be better if you do this, but other people will be like, nah, that would suck, I think it would be better if you do this instead, or something like that. Like how do you overcome that sort of situation?
From there, it's like we kind of like let the artist decide for what they think, because if the artist like feels like something might sound better, and then another person says, "Hey, this might sound better," then the artist like their vision for the song like kind of like leads.
Right.
Though what we had, like Raikou was wonderful to work with. Like she was amazing. Every time we kind of like came in with feedback, and we were like, "Hey, could you maybe like make this sound like this?" She at least tried it, gave us like an example, and then explained why it sounded bad. So, from there we kind of like, just kept like putting the pieces together, and that's how we ended up with the song.
Okay. Over this like work in progress, like over these work in progress files, how long did it take to actually get to certain milestones? Like let's say you broke it down into various different sections, right? How long did it take to get down one specific section to finalize it? Or were there multiple different steps of like, okay, you lay out the entire track and then you like refine it over time? Like what was the structure in that sense?
I mean, we kind of like began like we try to get the actual main structure out at like until 3 minutes very early on. So Raikou had at least like a sort of guideline what to work with, and we could just do semi-regular check-ins instead of like a big check-in like, hey, how's the song going? And then suddenly you have an entire song,
Yeah.
So yeah, basically we did it until like the the second drop ish. If I like take it here. Ooh. Yeah, this part right here, for example, 1 minute 30. From there, that's like what was already like in place during the like initial creation of like in
Like in
June,
draft number
pretty
one,
much.
it was already up until
Yeah.
1 minute 30.
Yeah, pretty much.
And that was to basically solidify
But
like the
it
direction
was
for the
not
song,
like,
yeah?
yeah, exactly. But it wasn't like the entire song done, because in the end, a like producer needs to master their track.
Yes.
They gotta like next to mastering, just go back to certain sections because they might like sound less impactful once you add more impactful sections later on. So it was like constant jumping between parts. On the like drop part, actually, like this part right here, this part took like the longest time, and like was stuck on it for a long time as well. But eventually we got this to work. That was mostly because like well, we wanted something really like powerful and heavy, but we didn't want it to sound like as the heaviest part of the song because there were still 2 minutes left. So things like that is everything like you have to realize, and then eventually you like come to conclusions, make a lot of decisions. Yeah.
Okay, so how long did that process take? Like from starting the project to getting the final MP3, mastered MP3, how long did that take? And what were the main milestones? And I know it's
So
going to
the
be specifically
first,
for Naiku.
yeah. So let me actually look up the messages real quick in the Discord. 2 seconds. Yeah, so for example, once we, okay, like the drop part, or well, the build up even was the 1st of August. So that was during COE. I was actually like literally at COE behind my desk with some of the other like hosts from the tournament, listening to the song and giving feedback while tournament matches were going on. So, but yeah, we kept like giving just songs, other songs as inspiration tables. We got the melody down the 3rd of August, and from there it was a lot of refactoring the melody until eventually at the about 13th of August we got it down.
For the melody specifically.
Yeah, for like the melody in the main section. So yeah, that's that basically.
So from the beginning, okay, so what I'm getting at is like in April, that's when when the project was started.
Yeah.
At August 1st, that's when the first buildup was done. When did the project actually officially end in terms of like the music side of things?
That was like the 31st or yeah, the 31st of August.
Okay, awesome.
And that was like the first master file, which meant that like the song was basically done. The entire structure was there, but some parts might like need a bit of tweaking, bit being louder or being more quiet. And that's something an artist like goes over at the very end of making a song. So from the 31st of August, the song was mappable. So the mapper started working on the song, but it wasn't the final, like the final master.
Right. So on the 31st, the song is basically solidified to the point where mappers can begin working on it.
Yes.
And that's when you officially brought them in while the song was being officially like, final mastered.
Yeah, and that was like about the 20th, something like that.
The 20th for what?
20th September.
20th of September. That's when mappers began work on it, or was that the final master?
No, that was like the final master. Mappers began working on it a bit earlier because we like next to a song, you also need a name for the song. So that's something to think about.
Yeah.
And that's a lot of brainstorming. Then you need a like general theme around the song.
Was this figured
and
out
because
after the master was done?
Yeah, this was like after the initial master was done. So the first one at the 31st of August.
Okay. All right. So 31st of August, you have a finished working file up until this point. Or you have a what's called a point of the song where you can start starting the other tasks. One of those tasks is mapping. Another task is the music video, I'm assuming. So the music video, there was no discussion about it until this point on the 31st. Is that correct?
I mean, yeah, kinda. I already had some things in mind because I was working so close with the artist, and I was the one making like the music video. So I was already like making storyboards and thinking things out. But everything like everything from editing like came in the actual final week before the song was like officially released.
I see. So during the song's creation process, you didn't make anything on the editor yet, but you were already sketching out storyboards or coming up with ideas and inspirations for what the music video could entail.
Yeah, because it might change. So
Yes.
if you're like adding many flashy effects and suddenly those kicks are gone because it doesn't fit that section anymore, then those flashy effects are there for nothing.
Right. What does a storyboard for the music video look like?
Oh God. Uh, I don't know if I can dig this up. I might be able to.
For me, like when I have like rough notes like this that aren't really finalized, they're like I'm just focusing on the capture of like getting it from my brain onto a piece of paper. I literally have like iPhone pictures of various different whiteboards of me sketching out like a
Uh-huh.
random ass idea and taking a picture and then just like erasing it, or like it's on Discord or it's on like that sort of thing. Yeah. So I'm curious what
Hmm.
your when you're sketching out a storyboard, do you like listen to like a specific work in progress file and be like, oh, it could be really cool if we did something, and you sketch out that specific frame for that specific section? Like that's what I'm trying to like figure out. That sort of
Yeah.
granularity.
So basically, the storyboard this time, like normally I like make something like just with black backgrounds and then the white drawn over it in paint or something like that. It's like really really simple for a main idea, but we already had the song title down, which meant Eternal Time.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted to do something with like time things. So the tree you see in the video was an idea, sort of like tree of life. Then the staircases, like infinitely spiraling staircases, indicates infinite time. Clocks, of course, hourglasses, and that's kind of like how everything came together. If I open this, these were my notes before I started making the video. This basically.
Oh, for like the storyboard. Like this is an example of what like your notes for the storyboard could look like
Yeah.
or did look like.
And as you can see, they're not even finished because like this section right here has build up something, 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 something. Like sometimes things like that just come in the process itself. Like while I was making it, it was like, oh yeah, I could pop this in right here, and I could pop this in right there.
I see.
Sometimes things don't work out, then you gotta change it a bit.
Of
But
course.
eventually you like
But this
come
sort
to
of thing,
something that works.
but the underlying idea is like while the song is being created, you get a work in progress file and you'd be like, ooh, this would be a really cool idea. And this would be one of the ways that you would write down and document those ideas for the storyboards. And then once the song is finally finished or in a workable state where you can start beginning work on like the finalized version, which is essentially a week before. One sec.
Yeah.
Music
Which isn't
video.
healthy, by the way. Like I put way too much hours into that week.
It's okay. It's good to like the point of documenting this is so we can identify what happened and then where it can be improved. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So the music video was started 1 week before. Using the notes was then sketch was notes plus finalized master was then used to create the music video. Okay, so there are multiple different like I don't know if they're called motifs or like themes. You mentioned there was like the staircases, the hourglass, the tree of life.
Yeah.
Like, what was the thought process going into those? Because I know there's like this overall theme of time, which attaches it to the song, right?
Hmm.
And that song, the song name was figured out after the track was done on the 31st, or quote unquote
Yeah.
done
So
on the 31st.
I basically started brainstorming with Raikou, like, okay, what could we call this song, right? And eventually we settled on something time related, because we are basically like going through classical Dutch hardcore genres, and then mixing it up with like futuristic tones and stuff like that, which kind of like felt something time related. That just felt right to put in there. And from there, we eventually were led to Tempus Aeternum, which is Latin for eternal time. And once that song title was figured out, which was on the 31st as well, we contacted Neko Megan, like, hey, we have a title, we have like a general idea behind the song.
When was Neko contacted?
Let me look up RDMs. Well, I actually asked during COE if she wanted to join the project.
Mm-hmm.
And then, yeah, let me see. The 11th of August, I sent the first message, how much do you charge? Then the 20th, no, about the 12th of August, they joined the server and started like pretty much, yeah, cooking instantly, like making little whips, just general ideas, and then we had to choose which we liked most. One of the like hosts vouched for like we need a girl in there, like some sort of anime girl. And then the tree eventually came to be. Behind the tree in the background is a giant clock. Let me go to graphics right here. Yes, so we got a lot of like updates, like update pictures for how the song turned out to be. Then we have eventually settled on like this. This was like the final piece. I sent it in.
Oh.
DMs.
In DMs. So this is the finalized background, right? When was
Yeah,
that
this is the
delivered?
finalized background. That was delivered on 19th of September.
So you began talking with Neko, like scouting out talent for the project during COE.
Yeah.
Work in progress, like ideas or sketches, started around the 12th of August. So that means during this time, the song isn't entirely finished, but you have notes for the storyboard of themes that you want to go with. This is also before
Yeah,
the name was
exactly.
figured out. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or
So
no. This was after the name was figured out.
okay, so how? So that means the first initial work in progress, like images, didn't have this concept of time. Is that correct?
We generally had an idea of time,
Mm-hmm.
but that was like it.
Okay.
We didn't like spiral down on that further yet.
Okay. So the theme of time was kind of figured out well in advance, then, or just like jotted down. Oh,
Yeah, just like
during the
while we were producing,
it was during
pretty much.
the genres and inspiration phase you mentioned specifically, like as you were thinking about the genre, for the Dutch, for the inspiration for the song, you felt there was like some sort of association with time, right?
Yeah, exactly.
With
And
time.
then from there, we sent this background over to Bullmaster Flex, which is another designer on the team. And he like added some VFX and added the typing, like the, how do you call it? It's the typography for the song title. It's a
Right.
new image in the end.
So wait, could you repeat that? What was the timeline for that?
Let me see. That's the 25th when it was done. Like as soon as the background pretty much dropped, we sent our files over to Bullmaster Flex, and then the
25th of
25th
September.
of September.
Okay. So 19th of September, the final background was delivered. 19th of September, the final background was delivered and typography began.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that answers all my questions on the background side. What about the music video? Because there's many different aspects that go into that. I know you crunched this all down within a week, but can you outline
Yeah.
within that 1 week, what was the process for specifically, like, what did you focus on first? Like the 3D renders? Was it the VFX? Like outline? Like
Yeah,
walk me through
so
that process of those of that week basically.
basically all the like assets are loaded into Unreal Engine. And I like did all the lighting effects, stuff like that in Unreal Engine to basically create something. Unreal Engine is something really great, like a sort of cinematic camera sequencer, where you could just like things like After Effects or Premiere Pro, you can pop in keyframes to move certain objects without doing any coding, which is really handy for creating stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I pretty much like went through all the ideas I had. So stairs spiraling down, clocks, the tree going up in flames,
So you started with
and
the 3D assets first.
yeah. So for the tree there was a preset file in Unreal already. For the stairs and the clocks, I made them in Blender. And the hourglass is partially like gotten from a free asset from internet, and then partially edited by me because the materials weren't like correctly loaded into Unreal Engine.
I see.
So that took like 5 days ish.
So from start to finish, it
It
took
took
5 days just for the 3D assets.
yeah, and like getting the pretty much clips down, this sequenced clips. I could actually try to open this.
Sorry, I'm still writing down the notes.
Yeah, no worries.
Okay. So 5 days have passed. You have all of the 3D assets now. Now, what's the next step?
Pretty much pop in everything into After Effects and start creating everything, like just following the notes I had.
With the notes, okay, so you have a series of clips. You have like the hourglass like shining. You have the staircases like spiraling, things like that. What were there any significant milestones or like what were these guiding notes that outlined what your instructions for After Effects or your workflow for After Effects specifically?
So my workflow is I just work from like start to finish. I begin at like the very beginning. I started with the stairs, and just kind of like started experimenting with them and just seeing like how it would turn out. Popped a bunch of like effects on it to make it like look better, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Like
It sounds weird, but this is exactly what I'm looking for.
okay.
So the thing that stands out the most is this process of experimenting with the assets to see how it turns out. Because again, that's similar to me. Like that's the problem that actually made it very difficult for me to delegate video editing. Because when I edit videos, I also work in chronological order. I also start with like a set of assets and then I experiment with like how those clips are sent in, what memes I randomly throw in, etc. to see how they turn out first, and then like
Yeah.
you figure out the final edit in the process, and I think that's very important to highlight, or to flag at least.
So if you look at my stream right now, or
Yes.
this is basically the project file. It's very complicated, and every single clip has like a lot of effects. If I go into here, like for example, the staircase here at the start has distortion, it has a vignette, a camera lens blur, and then a camera lens. And then from there, I have a lot of keyframes just like everywhere in every single one of these clips. Like even these very small ones, these like right there, these all have like a bunch of keyframes just to make things work.
Yeah, I see
And
it.
yeah, so like for example here, this is like where a transition like needed to happen, because the song here has these thumps, and I actually asked Raikou for like, hey, how many thumps are here? Because once you like listen to the track 5 billion times, you keep counting wrong, and yeah, this right here is like the amount of thumps you hear, and then it cuts to the next clip, which is again a like slower section in the song.
Right.
Oh yeah, and the loading bar. This is the only like 2D asset thing in the project.
I'm assuming you didn't have that
Loading
prepared
bar
ahead of
filling
time.
up.
You was just like, oh, a loading bar would be cool here. Let me just grab something, type shit. Yeah.
Yeah, basically. Well, I made this myself in Figma, but yeah.
Ah, okay.
And then throw in like little references everywhere. Like for example here, Making Final Call and Beyond Reality. That's 2 other songs that Raikou produced.
Oh, wait, that's actually sick. I love shit like that.
Yeah, there's a bunch of references everywhere.
Okay, so we have down, or I have down, a basic timeline from the start of the commission, when that starts to transition over to the mappers. For the mappers specifically, did you have any sort of like guidelines for them, or were you just like, oh, I like your maps, just map this shit?
Yeah, we just basically ask, hey, please map, please. Like on our knees. Because they were already working on another custom for the tournament. Like the finals map pool had another grand final like custom map. Which wasn't a custom song, but they also mapped that.
Right.
So they were kind of like also crunching to get everything down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, and then the actual project finalized. You mentioned it was quite literally right before the grand finals or some shit.
Yeah, literally a day before. Like I was up until midnight, 4 a.m. or something. Because next to like this first reveal, this is not like the entire reveal, right?
Right.
So you have this, and then right here, it basically like it cuts short. Like here's like the final cut, and then with this, I went into Premiere to get pretty much all of the different replays, because we have a lot of different replayers, and then that had to be edited together as well to make it seamless. Then I added the overlay we have, which is also another After Effects file, and then blah 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 yada yada. From there, we
Right. So
eventually had a video.
There's another bottleneck because
Oh,
what's up, Scytha?
119.
what the fuck? So there's another bottleneck because even after you have the music video, even after you have like the 3D assets on Blender and Unreal Engine, things like that, you still need to wait for the replay files as well. And the replay files require the map to be finished in a completely final state, right? So when did the so that's why you won't start it before the showcase.
Well, the reason I started a week before the showcase was because I was also doing like every single other editing and graphical thing for this tournament.
Right.
So I literally just didn't.
Of course,
have
you're also
time.
busy, right? So for the mappers, how long did it take for them to map out the thing.
Let me look into their channel.
Did they also have like a sort of like update system where they like would show what progress they made on the map to get feedback on or something? Or did you just
Yeah,
like
so
trust?
Taku first like made a layout of like the different sections in the map, which like are kind of like the bookmarks you would set in Osu, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, the mappers pretty much were like, oh yeah, I could take this part, I could take this part, until that like entire list was built. And then from there, we kept like seeing progress updates over like the weeks, like 2 weeks ish.
Wait,
Then
so start with the different sections of the map being bookmarked basically. What happened after that?
yeah, so pretty much because every section is bookmarked and like yeah, everyone knows what parts they work on. Everyone could work at the same time on the map, and then we just like kind of merged it together.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. And so, how long did it take for the map to finally get finished? If the 20th of September was, if mappers began work on it on the 31st of August, when did you have like the final map done?
Let me see. Yeah, so everyone started working on the song on the 3rd of September. And then the map was finished on... Okay, the initial finish was the 27th of September.
Initial finish?
But
So,
from...
like the first draft of the map?
Yeah, pretty much like the entire map laid out. Because... Okay, wait, let me see. Yeah, the 27th was the first initial, like, finished map. And from there, a bunch of feedback came in, because it was actually, instead of
27th of
like
September?
Yeah.
Of September. Okay, so almost basically an entire month on people working on the map even in parallel.
Yeah, because you gotta realize, like, these mappers were also all working on another custom map, which was released a week prior.
Right.
BTMC
Mr. Cubics, I'm aware. One sec.
And yeah, on the 27th of September, the map was pretty much like partially finished. Playtesters got their feedback in. Everyone was like, okay, this map is way too hard, because it was like literally 9 stars. And then some sections got changed. And then on the 1st of October, feedback was applied. It was like slightly less difficult because of that. Then it was asked to be nerfed again. And then on the 3rd of October, the map was finished and hit sounds were implemented.
I'm sure hit sounds it will just take like a couple days, but by this point you have enough for you to at least start getting the players on getting the replays, yeah?
Well, not exactly, because if parts get nerfed, then you don't really like have a replay file anymore.
Nerfed? As in like if the hit
Yeah,
sounds change?
if
I thought by the
No,
3rd
no,
of
no,
October the map was finished, like finalized,
Oh
finished
yeah,
after
yeah,
feedback.
yeah. By the 3rd of October, the map was completely like finished. So from there on out, we started searching for replayers.
Okay. Replayers begin here. Did you have like a set amount of time to give your replayers?
Well, the map was finished on like the Friday, which was Friday 3rd October. Let me look at my calendar.
Mm-hmm.
Friday 3rd of October. And the map reveal was 4 days later on the 6th. 6th. I can't say that, but whatever. Then we gave the replayers a deadline for the 5th. So that's literally 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And then on that day, I also edited everything together to get it ready for Monday.
I see. Okay. I think that should be everything. So you start in April. You start with the music first, obviously. Go through negotiations on pricing. Pricing is done based off of how long the song is and the complexity of the song. So there was some agreed upon, at least like range, right?
Yeah.
Let's see. You created a document with song guidelines, including the BPM, length,
Mm-hmm.
genres, inspirations. That's where you came up with like the underlying theme, which was like that association with time. And then you created a table, at least giving guidelines for what the artist could do, but explicitly encourage them to, use their own creativity to make the best product possible. Yep. Over the course of those of your relationship with the artist, there were multiple work in progress files sent back and forth. You had a network of people to give feedback on the song. Of this network of feedback, what does that usually entail? Is it like other artists? Is it mappers? Is it like what?
It was
Who is part of this like feedback group?
it was one other artist and like players, just players.
One other artist.
Like not players of the tournaments, but just or like play testers, and then the mappers actually came in sometimes to just say something, and the hosts.
In total, how many people do you think this would be?
To create the entire project,
For just the feedback, the people giving feedback.
about 6, something like that.
Okay. From this feedback loop, well, before all of this, there was the main structure that you guys outlined much early on, which is very rough. And then you got to the first build up through the work in progress feedback loop. Got to the build up on the 1st of August, which is during COE. You finalized the melody from the 3rd of August. On the 13th, you've finalized that melody. On the August 31st was when the project was in a finalized state to be like focused on the master. So that kickstarted other parts. Mappers began work, which involved basically giving them complete creative control with no guidelines. It was
from there,
dissected into different sections for the collab parts, basically. And then they were worked on in parallel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So for that pretty much like our other custom was a normal 6 map. So we wanted a mapper that was like that had experience with like making those kind of like crazy stupid flow-in maps, right? So then we eventually got in contact with Wispy, and then that's how we got Wispy to work on that map. And that's kind of also like how we got these mappers together. These mappers were already a team like beforehand. They also did the grand finals tiebreaker from last year's edition of National Dutch Championship. So we basically asked them to come together once more, and then they created this map.
Everyone knows what parts to work on, and they work on simultaneously. At the same time, this is where you were outlining things. You already had some things in mind for the music video, sketching out things for the storyboard. By the 27th of September, the maps were partially finished, but it was too hard. It went through like a feedback loop system for the mapping specifically. Around this time, you also had sketched out certain themes with like the staircases, the hourglass, and the tree of life. The music video required having all the replays, and also because of time constraints, you started that 1 week before it.
Not really, because like the music video was already in process a week before like the initial reveal. But like the intro sequence, for example, right? It doesn't use anything of the map. Like
Right.
that part is mapped on Osu, but it's so like early on, and it isn't like a massive difficulty spike or something. So we just chose to remove that part from the initial showcase.
Interesting. Beginning of the map. Beginning of the song was started before the map, or like 1 week before the or 1 week ahead, with the decision to not include the map since it wasn't interesting.
Yeah. We just wanted to focus more on the actual like VFX and everything around that to make the like reveal more epic to come into.
Okay. Around the time when you guys were working on the name. This was your workflow for creating those assets, and then around the time in parallel was Neko, for the background and typography.
Yep.
Okay. Yikes.
Yeah, so how we did things, we've already like laid out a ton of like issues with how much time everyone got on certain parts.
Mm-hmm.
Like like if you like organize this well, I wouldn't like have had to time crunch, right?
Yeah.
But we just the song was taking like a long time, as songs do. So initially you want to like start talking to an artist like even earlier on to make sure these kind of issues don't happen, and also have more people on your team, because once I was like occupied with everything from creating the Maple reveals every week, because those are all custom, I just didn't really have the time to like even think about the song or like work on it. So we kind of like let Naiku do her thing while we were all working on like keeping the tournament running.
Right.
I know OWC handles this like much better because they also have like way more editors, way more like graphical artists, and that process then becomes like way different because they all kind of like have an idea which is already set in stone like 3-4 months before the initial reveal like happens.
Yeah. Okay. This is at least something that I can work with to then start to understand, like, like rough expectations for like timelines, rough expectations for what tasks need to be done when we're bringing on someone. Because one of the issues that I have is like, okay, we need a graphics design artist. Great. What do we need the artist to do? No idea. You know what I'm saying? So like
Yeah.
stuff like this is great to like outline what we're specifically looking for in a person who's trying to like fit a specific role, right? So okay, my job then is to basically reformat this and basically create like what I feel like would be a quote unquote reasonable structure. What makes me like kind of like shocked, I guess, is like obviously I've done like custom songs before, right? I have my own experience essentially with Locust, the Locust project, and basically like trying to make my own song and my own map, and I have my own process for that that I unfortunately did not document yet. However, what matters is that at the end of the day, you had something that came out, and although it was stressful, it came out at the end, and that's what really matters, right? Now the question is, how do we optimize it? How do we make it so you don't have to go on that crunch time? How do we make it so that these issues can be ironed out ahead of time so that you can achieve this on a much larger scale? Scale is everything.
Yeah.
Right?
So one thing, for example, that I would have done totally different if we did this all over again, is just generally have another like VFX person or someone that can go around with Unreal Engine, or yeah, pretty much any task that was like in this project, right? Because because I had like a vision on the song as well next to Naiku, and I was like the one with experience around these fields. I was pretty much doing the management for this song together with Lily, another host, and then also working on the reveal video, also like making sure everything is up to par, which just took in a lot of time as well. So you kind of like need a general manager to just manage these kind of things, and not have that manager like be actively also working on the song with deadlines and stuff.
Yeah, so on paper, that sounds easy. In actuality, this is extremely difficult to do because you
Yeah,
now
of
need to
course.
make sure that communication with the second VFX person is aligned with what's in your head. And that requires its own SOP that's as detailed as this, specifically just for what the VFX looks like. You wouldn't, and from my own experience, you would not be able to do this.
Uh-huh.
This workflow would
Yeah.
not work if you have a second person. I've
Yeah,
tried
of
it;
course.
it does not work. It would have to be figured out ahead of time. Which that's how scale is achieved. So yeah,
Yeah,
agreed.
exactly.
But yeah, all right. I'll go through this in my own time, and once I'm finished with it, I'll send it over to you, and maybe you can get some use out of it as well. But thank you for coming on.
Yeah, sounds good.
Incredible work. Really happy that this shit actually managed to become a reality. This is like pushing the envelope, if you will, when it comes to like the quality of Osu content out there, and I hope to see a lot more of it. So,
Thank you, thank you. Well, I have applied to the OWC team, so maybe
exciting.
we'll see. We'll see.
Yes, sir. All right, thank you so
All
much,
right.
baby. I appreciate it.
No problems. No problems.
All right, peace.
Take care.
Chat, I know the stream was dying, but I was kind of locked in. My bad. Yeah, so basically in summary, what we were taking a look at was the custom tiebreaker for the National Dutch Championship. I think that's the name of the tournament. And they went through this entire like music video showcase thing, which is awesome. I would like to see a lot more of it, but I also understand that it takes a lot of work to make it happen, right? So what I'm trying to do is, because I also work on OSU projects, what I found and identified as like the issue with making big projects like this happen more often is outlining how people do it, and then, finding the talent to fit the bill. I don't have an issue with finding talent. There's plenty of people who are willing to work on things. However, that means there's more pressure on me to be able to instruct them and give them the right directions on what I need them to do, because hiring talent is no longer the issue. People will even do it for free. But if I can't instruct them properly on what to do, then it's doomed. It's fucking doomed, right? So yeah, I know the title was like outdated, but it's whatever.